This is Immico, and this is an update on what's been happening with the M3 in the past 5 or so months. The whole car has pretty much come together now. The last time that we showed you it, there were no ancillaries on the engine. There was literally no interior in it. It just needed all the work doing. We were going to film the work as we went, but Chase has a day job and wasn't around to film, and I'm too busy working on the car to actually film at the same time. It makes everything take about 2 or 3 times longer, and it just wasn't a feasible thing to do. So we're just going to have a catch up now to show where the car is. One of the biggest features of this car is the S65 V8 engine that came out of the more recent M3 around 2010, I think this one is from. We couldn't fit the airbox on, so we've gone with some velocity stacks. In the last video that they featured in, they were quite a bit taller, which caused a problem because the bonnet wouldn't actually close down on them. Obviously quite a major issue. So I cut all of them down, so they're quite a bit shorter now than they were. And this one here has had the boss welded onto it for the air intake temperature. Because the airbox isn't there, I had to think of a new way to do the breathing system. On each rock cover there's now a breather filter, which is on a custom made base using half a 3D printed section and the bottom half of the original breather bracket. Some people may have noticed the Nuke fuel pressure regulator. It sits on the bulkhead here. There's a feed from the boot fuel system, which is this -8 line, which goes into the fuel rail, and there's a return, which is the -6, which goes back to the boot. Everything was cleaned on the engine. All the ancillaries were cleaned. I put everything back on with brand new genuine BMW gaskets. Around 90% of it is all new bolts. There's stainless steel where possible. And due to the new radiator, the original pipework wouldn't fit. So I had to modify the inlet and outlet on the thermostat housing just to go to the new radiator. It's now quite simple, tucks in nice and neat, keeps all the things away from the belts, and will do the job nicely. The header tank isn't fitted yet because we're waiting for some arch tubs to come, and then I'll be able to work out what's going on there. Moving on into the car, it's now got a full interior, or as much as an interior as it's going to get, minus the passenger seat, which I've left out for Phil, who's going to be doing the wiring. I thought I'd give him a little bit of luxury and some space to move around. I fitted a carbon fibre dashboard, which is out of a Mark II Escort, which was too wide, so I've had to cut down each end, and it was too shallow and had a kick up, so I've had to cut that off, extend it, and then I've flopped the top half to make it all look how it should do. I'm pretty chuffed with how it's come out. It looks really good, I think, anyway. Let me know what you think. I've also made a switch panel which is mounted on the center console. That houses the fire extinguisher button, the ignition and the bias adjuster, and it will have a USB port because who doesn't need to charge their phone up. You can see the heater pipes have also been connected to that, just to give a little bit of luxury to the driver and the passenger. The power source for this was supplied by Deadweight Industries. Thank you very much, guys. They did an amazing job at advising us on what we would need for this particular setup, this engine, and obviously things like no stereo, etc. But we wanted to be able to turn the engine over a couple of times just in case it doesn't start the first time. They advised us to go with a bigger battery purely because of the high compression that this engine has. So really appreciate the help that they gave us. That leads us on to the electrics. There are no electrics in the car at all at the moment, but they have been made. They've been made specific for this car, and they are all going to be running through along down the passenger side of the vehicle, and then we've got the ECU is going to be mounted in the carbon panel down on the passenger kick well. While talking about the electrics, I just wanted to say that we've got an AIM dash going on here. They don't come with a mounting function, so you're basically left to make your own one. So I've made this bracket here out of some carbon sheet, and then the aim dash, which is a very small little thing, you can see compared to the size of my hands, which is going to show everything. You've got indicator lights, you've got your dip, your main beam, oil pressure, fuel level, water temperature, literally everything is on there, which now is just going to screw onto the unit there like this. It's very, very compact. It didn't need a big mount to take over, and once that's on there, I think it works out pretty well there. And when the steering wheel's back on, you can reach all these side buttons to control it, and it's visible through the steering wheel, so that worked out really well. I've mentioned the pedal box a few times in previous videos. Just going to show you a quick update on it now that it's actually connected up. I've also fitted an accelerator pedal. So the pedal box, pretty self-explanatory. It's got the clutch and the brake. They are all functioning now, all lined up with the Hell brake lines, which I've made to length throughout the whole car. They didn't leak at all, so that was pretty handy. The accelerator pedal was a bit of a different matter. That is from an E92, and there was no way at all to mount it into the E30 floor, so I had to come up with a design for that. There's a metal aluminium plate underneath it which bolts to the floor, and then the pedal bolts to the plate, and then there's a support on the back of the pedal, so now when you move it you can go full throttle without any problems. On the doors we've got more carbon. You can see a theme coming along here, along with the carbon door cards, carbon dash, carbon foot panels, carbon roof, carbon mirrors. There's enough here, that's for sure. They had to be cut to fit. There was no door handle hole in them. There was no holes for any of the mountings at all. So they were all trimmed, all fit on. They look amazing. Very, very simple. Didn't want anything other than things we needed. So you've got a door pull to get out and a door pull to shut yourself in. I've also made the standard fittings for the door lock pins fit in them, so that's as much luxury as you get. The polycarbonate windows went in, no problem at all. They are held in with the original BMW clips, which I've flipped around, trimmed them down, bent them out a bit, put a little bit of rubber on them. That pushes them out to the original BMW sill, and then there's a couple of stainless steel bolts going through to stop them going down, and they're hidden on the outside from the trim, so it looks very, very subtle and clean. Thank you very much, Chase. They are lockable, and they're pretty simple really. You just pull the pin out and slide it forward. It's going to be a bit difficult for Ben to get his McDonald's through the window, especially as soon as he's sitting on the left hand side, but he is able to, so I think he'll be happy with that. So that follows the whole ethos of this car. Nice, simple, functional, and a nice clean look. The fire extinguisher system on this is supplied by OMP. It is a OMP tank, and then I've got 6 fire extinguisher points in the car. There's 2 in the boot. One point's at the fuel cell, the other point's at the swell pot, and the fuel pump and the fuel filter. The ones in the car are in each front corner of the cabin, and they point directly at the driver's shins, knee level. That is where they're supposed to go. They come out in a circular fan, so I mean they make a right mess when they come out. It literally goes everywhere, so yeah, the drivers are going to be safe with that. And then in the engine bay there's one on each turret, and they direct directly at the injectors and the throttle bodies and the spark plug sort of area, and will go down and cover the exhaust manifolds as well, so that's both sides of the engine covered. The button for activating this is on the scuttle, normal race car style front left scuttle, and there's another one on the switch panel on the center console, along with the armed and disarmed flip switch. Back to the front of the car, the front bumper, front wings, which are now 2 inches wider than standard, the rear bumper and the rear spoiler have all gone off to be painted due to being fiberglass, or I think the rear bumper was actually a bit damaged, but did actually arrive painted in the first place. They've gone off to be painted. The car is very, very close to completion now. I am done with it here, and it's now going to go off to our friend Phil, who is fitting the loom, as I explained earlier. I've put the headlights in so that everything is there for him to wire up there. We've got all LEDs in there rather than just normal bulbs. The fan wiring's there. We've got the oil temperature. All the sensors and everything are there ready for him to just connect to. And then we should be able to turn the key in and run it. You'll know whether that works or not because you'll be seeing it happen. The front arches, I don't know if you noticed, they have big holes in them at the moment. We are waiting for some Kevlar tubs to arrive. That is one of the things that's held me up. So there's a few bits I haven't been able to do. So I will be going to Phil's as well to do a few more bits there while it's at his. But for now, it is done here. It's been a year-long slog to get it to this point and quite an uphill struggle at times. But happy to say, it is going away from my workshop for a while. I'm sure it will come back, and I'm sure I won't see the last of it, to be honest. Join us next time where the car should be complete, running, MOT'd, on the road. Ben should be able to drive it and show us what it's like, and we'll be able to give updates on how it handles, if we're needing to change anything, and generally a rundown on the car as an actual car on the road, and hopefully give you some rolling shots. So that's it for now. I'll catch you later.